On Sunday, August 21st, 1966, Etwat Loding, 9 years old, she and her friend Memiliana Bokset, 13, they were with other friends walking home from Sunday school. So late morning, early afternoon, kids are walking home from school. They're about 15 miles northeast of Ridel in Papua New Guinea. And it doesn't give the exact time of day or even distance to shore. All we know is that the two girls, Etwat and Memiliana, decided they were going to go do some swimming. So the two go into the water, and the first into the water is Etwat Loding, and she dives in, and as soon as she dives in, she's attacked by multiple sharks. Now, Memiliana, seeing this, she dives in the middle of, they say, at least 6 sharks and tries to help her friend, and her friend disappeared right when she entered the water, and she hadn't been seen again. And then when Memiliana jumped in, she was immediately attacked. The search was conducted with boats and canoes. They never did find anything of Etwat Loding. They did find remains of Memiliana Bokset, but it is said that she was torn apart by the sharks. So this is 2 fatalities. The fact that these are packs of sharks would make me think that they're probably in the whaler area of sharks. You know, you can run into I would think that the smaller bronze whalers might hang out together, kind of like the bull sharks do. I would expect these are bull sharks, but as soon as you hit the water, she could end up diving right into them. And you know, a lot of times when you go to save somebody, the sharks leave the person that's going to rescue them alone. But once the other sharks are in feeding mode, that probably sent all of them into a frenzy, and it makes complete sense that it wouldn't have gone well for Memiliana. So that's the first 2, both fatalities, both attempts to consumed by multiple sharks on these 2. So that's our attack on Memiliana Bokset, 13 years old, and Etwat Loding, 9 years old. On November 1st of 1966, over off of Lombam, that is also Papua New Guinea, about 60 to 80 miles from the first set of attacks not 2 months earlier, there was Dakel Baga, 8 years old. She was in 3 feet of water, and she was attacked by a large shark. Shark came in, grabbed her. It sounds like the shark took her away. Either the shark took her away or the next one we're going to go over, because one of them, they were able to fight the shark off and get the girl in, but she ended up passing away. So that's either this one or the next one, but it sounds like one of the 2 were taken away. So she's in the water, a large shark comes in, grabs her, and attacks her, either taking her away or being driven off by bystanders, and then they get her into shore and she passes away from her wounds. So the very next day, same spot, the very same spot, Ridel, Pogais, she is 13 years old or 11 years old. I've seen both the ages put forth for her. And she is out doing some swimming herself. She is in 8 feet of water when she is attacked. Again, this is either her attack or they attacked the day before, but they said the shark was the size girth of a 44-gallon drum, you know, big and round, big shark. So either that one got a hold of her and took her away, or that's the one that the bystanders were able to chase the shark off. I would think that the day before, the bystanders were able to chase the shark off in the shallows, unlike in 8 feet of water. So it's tough to tell which one of these are. I'm going by just a single newspaper clipping I was able to find on this one. So that's the second attack, 2 days in a row, 2 fatalities. So now we've got 4 girls in the span of less than 2 months that are taken in Papua New Guinea, which is also where Titus Tiso ran into that tiger shark that bit him in the shoulder, taking his shoulder, arm, and all the way taking his heart also. So there's been some brutal attacks in Papua New Guinea, and we're about to get to the worst one of the cluster next. Okay, now we're going to get to the last of the cluster attacks, where there was 5 fatalities in the span of 2 months. All of them were females, ages 13 or 11 all the way down to this one, 9 months. This is the youngest shark attack victim that I can find. It's also brutally a fatality, but we got a different story than when I covered this originally. I covered this attack originally and went off of, I think it was GSAF had newspaper clippings in theirs, and it had one that said that the shark got into the shallows and the father was bathing Theresa Manieri, 9 months old, and this is at the very same spot, well, not at the same spot as the two girls that were attacked in successive days just a week, it sounds like a week earlier. So supposedly he's bathing her in the shallows, large shark comes up and hits him, he drops her, and this large shark takes the baby away, and that's the last they ever seen of it. I was able to find that attack story, that clipping, and from the same newspaper I found the clipping I'm going to show you, which is the one that I think that actually happened. I think that that other story was mixing two stories together, and it's false. So this one makes more sense. The father and the wife were taking Theresa Manieri. They took her to go to the vigil for the two girls that were killed the week before. They visit the spot, probably a vigil there, and they're on their way home. On their way home, it sounds like there was bad storms, and they ran into some flood area, and the current got too strong, and it dragged Theresa away from her father's arms. And last they saw, there was multiple shark fins seen around the baby, and that was it. So this one seems a lot more credible than a 20-foot shark in a couple feet of water and hitting you in the leg and knocking the baby in the water. You'd be able to see a large shark like that, I think. Even if the water's murky, that's too big of a shark to get into very shallow water, which you would probably be doing with bathing of a baby. The story I think it was conflated with was an attack attempt. This is at Lambom Island, not at Lambom, this is the island, and we'll go to this spot to show this, but there was a gentleman that was in the water. He was in 1 foot of water, close to shore, and they said that a shark that was about 20 feet came up and got within a few feet of him before he got himself into shore. So I think that they took that story and mixed it up with the other one. It's tough to tell. Multiple stories probably come out of these areas with these things happening like that anyway. But I don't have the name on the gentleman that was chased down. I'll get that for you, and I'll put that in the picture along with any clipping that I can find on his attack. And that's the 6 attacks, 5 fatalities, 1 attempted attack with no injury within a 2-month span in Papua New Guinea within 80 miles of each other. And this is the first of our cluster series. We're going to be going through a lot of these. We're going to be going through, of course, Second Beach. We're going to be going through Reunion Island. We're going to go through probably Recife, I should say. So we're going to be going through these clusters. I hope you'll join me for them. I hope you all see you soon. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you go into that water, you are much more afraid of those sharks than they are of you.